Okay, so if you're watching this video, that means that you have made it to the Disney Cultural Exchange Programme pre-screen interview. If you haven't, then maybe don't watch this because you probably won't find it at all useful or exciting or entertaining. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video I am going to be filming my pre-screen interview tips kind of thing for the Disney Cultural Exchange Programme. So I've already filmed the application process video. For me, I'm filming all three of these in one day because I've decided the lighting's really good, my hair looks good, and I've got fresh daffodils, so I thought I'd just film all three in the same day. Yeah, as I mentioned in the last video, I've had these videos planned for months. So today I'm going to be talking through the pre-screen interview process, like what happens when you get there and like everything like that, because I feel like it's a bit of a mystery unless you watch like these kind of videos. So yeah, do I want my hair behind my ears? How do I want it? Like this? Yeah. Okay, so the pre-screen interviews take place at the Yummy Jobs offices in Epping, which is like Essex. It's basically London. We got the tube there. So to get to the offices took about 45 minutes from Waterloo Station. I got the train there. My interview was like kind of early in the day, I think. So I had to get to London fairly early, but we got there like pretty much fine. Like it only took 45 minutes on the tube, so it was pretty easy to get to, even though it is basically in Essex, which I've never been to Essex, so that was kind of cool for me. So when we arrived, I actually met two of my friends, Iona and Felix, at Waterloo Station, and we travelled together, which I definitely recommend doing because it makes it a whole lot easier. Like, I was so scared about having to go there by myself. I'm not very good at navigating my way around London, even though, as you guys might know, I go there quite a lot. I'm really terrible with tubes and like directions and whereabouts I am, so having those guys there actually really helped me. For those of you who have made it this far, you might know that there are Facebook pages and like group chats and stuff for like the interview days and like for the pre-screen interviews. So as soon as you know what day you're on for your pre-screen, you'll probably get added into a little group chat and you can meet some people, and everyone is so lovely, and that honestly made the whole day. Like the people that I met that day made the whole experience for me. So we arrived at the offices, which is really weird because it's just like a tiny door on a high street and you don't know it's there unless you get told that it's there. We got sent like the Google Maps and like a photo of it, so we knew exactly where to go. But like if you were just walking there, you would not know that the offices were there. We had to wait outside this door, and then Natalie, who works for Yummy Jobs, she's very infamous, everyone knows who she is, she came down the stairs and let us all in, and we all bundled up these really tiny narrow stairs. And my only and first thought at this point was, I am so hungry. I literally spent the whole day so hungry. I think my problem was I was so nervous that I didn't eat lunch before I went in, and our interview was at like 11 AM, so it was kind of like in between lunchtime, like just before lunch. Like I wasn't quite hungry, but then as soon as we got there I was like, I am starving. So we went in and we got in a queue and we had to like sign in, and basically we got given like a group name, which is for our like group interview. I was in Team Maleficent. I do still have the sticker somewhere. They gave like a little sticker and I do still have it. It's currently attached to my folder that's got all my documents in. Yeah, that was so cool, like getting given a name. I really wanted to be in Peter Pan because I love Peter Pan, but I was given Maleficent, which made me feel like a badass, like genuinely. I was like, yeah, this is cool, like I've got a cool team name. And yeah, so we went in and we sat down like in this like little like rows of chairs, and we watched like a presentation which probably lasted like 45 minutes to an hour. We watched a video which basically made everyone cry, of like these people that currently work at Disney and like how much they love it and enjoy it and all the fun things they get up to. And it was just so cool, like it was just insane like to see all of this. And they had, I remember the thing that made me like freak out the most was on the wall they had the cast member graduation like Mickey caps, like literally plastered all over the wall, and I was like, I want one, I want to take one home. Obviously I don't advise you do that because you probably won't get very far, but they had them like on these shelves and it was just so cool. Like the whole offices, they had this massive wall that had like the castle on it, and we all took photos in front of it, and it was just so fun. And yeah, we got given this little like sheet as well that had like the cost breakdowns, which obviously isn't quite as fun, but it was just so cool like to see all of that, and having that actually there was really useful because it made you actually sit and think like, okay, could I actually afford to do this, or is this just like a pipe dream that I need to stop? Obviously everyone decided they could afford it. Whether or not they actually could, I don't know. I definitely can't, but I'm somehow managing, so I definitely advise if you're worried about the cost, don't worry about that at all. It's really not that much of a big deal. Oh my god, my camera battery is flashing red. Are you being serious? So then after the presentation ended, we got sent back out of the building because the offices are tiny, like they can't keep every single person in there for the whole time. I was in the second interview group, or the first. Was I in the first or the second? I literally don't remember. I was in the first interview group, so I got sent outside and then we got sent back up again. And I was in a group with some really lovely people, some of which I still speak to now. They're not my closest friends on the programme, but like I still speak to them a lot now. So as I'm aware, everyone in my group apart from one person actually got a job, which is insane. I don't know how they work that one out, if that's like how they do it, or if it's just completely random, but yeah, that's just how it happened for our group. So we got sent back outside. I remember thinking, do I have time to go and buy a sandwich? And as I was about to cross the road to go to Boots and buy a sandwich, they were like, no, come back in, like we're ready for the first group now. And I was just like, I am so hungry, I think I'm gonna pass out. So I sat in this interview like clinging onto the bottom of the chair because I was so hungry. I was like, if my stomach rumbles or like I end up feeling really sick, like I don't know what's gonna happen. And I didn't want to like zone out because I was so hungry and like not listen to the questions. But we got in and this really lovely guy called Mark was like in charge of our group and he was the one asking us all the questions. I actually have a list of the questions that he asked us. So the first one was, I don't know if this was in like order or what, it's just how I remembered it, but again, because I was so hungry, it actually took me a few days to remember the interview because I literally was like zoned out the whole time. But the first question Mark asked us was our top 2 roles and why, so what roles we wanted to have in Disney and why. I said merchandise and quick service food and beverage. I said merchandise because I'm a big fan of having sentimental things and I want to be able to help families and guests like get sentimental things and like have things to remember their trip by. And also I said quick service because I've got a lot of experience in that field. Obviously I ended up with quick service, which I'm not surprised. I kind of knew that was going to happen just because of my previous work experience, but yeah, I thought I'd mention those 2 anyway. Another question we got asked, which actually was my favourite question, was what location would we have on our badge and why? Because basically where you do this programme through a university, you have to be at uni, you can either have your university or your hometown on your badge, although I'm pretty sure we only get United Kingdom because everyone that I've seen has only had United Kingdom on their badge. But hypothetically, what would you have? And you have to like give your reasoning. I said Bournemouth because that's where I'm from at uni, and I said because I prefer it to my hometown and I feel like myself here and like I've grown as a person from being here and all of that. So it was a bit of a cliche answer, but I think he really liked that. I think that's kind of what they're going for with that, like kind of something a little bit more meaningful than just because it's where I live. Like I think they want you to like give a reason, which was really cool. Another question which is why we applied, which again was the same as the application process, and again you just have to talk about culture for like 5 minutes until they tell you to shut up basically. I honestly can't stress this enough, at this point you need to be talking about culture. If you're not, then you're probably not going to get past this point. So yeah, just bear that in mind. Make sure you do exactly what you did in the application process and just talk about culture. Another question, which was probably one of my favourites, was what character we'd be and why. I panicked here because a lot of the people in my group actually said villains, which I thought was really, really cool. Like someone said they would be Ursula, I think, because of like how she is and all of that, and I said Belle because I'm a really kind and sensitive person and I'm always willing to learn new things. That was my answer because I thought that is good. Those are the sort of questions you can sort of plan beforehand. So I'm giving you guys these questions now so like you can plan them. Obviously you might not get them, but the chances are they'll be similar anyway. We also got given like a group scenario question, so we had to work in pairs. I was actually in a 3 because we had an odd number in our group, and we were given like a scenario of, okay, if you're working in this role and this happens, how would you resolve it? I don't actually remember what ours was. I think ours was very simple. It was like someone's complaining about the wait time for food, like what do you say? We went very generic with our answer and we're like just apologise and like offered to give them something for free or like just be really apologetic. But someone else that I actually really want to mention because this was a really good answer actually said that if a ride wasn't working, they would say that the so it was the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, for example, wasn't working, and guests were getting really angry about it. How would you resolve it? And we said, oh, they basically just said, oh, the dwarfs are working really hard to get it fixed. And I thought that was such a sweet answer, and like, I think for me, if I was a guest in Disney, I would love to hear something like that. So that was really, really nice. So definitely, I think you could go either way with that answer. We were disappointed with ours in the end because we were like, oh, it's not very Disney of us, like, that's very generic. But actually, they just want to know how you would deal with it, and obviously how you deal with it isn't necessarily the way that you have to deal with it. They just want to know that you won't panic in those sort of situations. They also did ask us if we had any experience of living with other people from different cultures. I luckily did in my halls last year, so I talked about that, and I said that it went really well and it was really exciting and interesting to live with someone who wasn't from the UK, and they really liked that. So if you have any sort of experience, even if you were like friends with someone at school, or like, you can kind of exaggerate here, because I wasn't that close with my flatmate who wasn't from the UK, but I sort of just exaggerated a bit and explained that I got on really well with her and all of this kind of thing, so that's a really good thing to do. We also got asked if we had any tattoos or piercings. They don't actually mind if you do or don't. With the piercings, like I just said, oh, I've got like my two like ears like here pierced, and basically all they say is, are you able to take them out for the job, like to wear, like, so you can't wear earrings like on your shift? And I was like, yeah, that's fine. I've also got a really small tattoo on my ankle, and they weren't fazed by that at all. They basically don't want you to have anything like on your arm like here, or on your leg where you can't cover it with socks. Like if it's like here, you can just cover it with a t-shirt, or like for me, I can just cover my tattoo with literally just normal plain ankle socks, like just socks that I would wear every single day anyway. So they don't really care about that, but they do need to know. So if you're worried that a tattoo is going to hinder your application, or a piercing or something, don't lie about it, because I've heard of so many instances where people have got to Disney and they've been found out having a tattoo, and even if they can cover it, they get kicked out straight away because they just lied, and that's not what they want. So you do have to be really honest and open if you have any tattoos or piercings, even if they're not going to affect your application, even if you can't see them. Just disclaim it anyway, and just say, look, I've got a really small one, or yeah, I've got like a big one here, and they'll basically give you your options. And it also helps them to decide what role you'd have, because you can't be in a front-facing role where your costume would be short-sleeved if you have a tattoo like here. So yeah, make sure you do disclose that. It's really, really important. Yeah, so after that, they basically told us thank you for a great afternoon and you're welcome to leave. We actually had like a cake, like a Macmillan like cake coffee afternoon thing, so we did actually stay in the offices for like an hour, maybe a little bit longer, and like sat and ate cakes and talked to everyone, and we took photos at the wall, and overall it was just a really lovely day. And at that point I thought, even if I don't get a job now, I'm so happy that I've been here and have been able to do this. But honestly, it does make you so excited to be there. Like, the way they talk about it is like, okay, you will be here, you will be doing this, rather than like, oh, you might get to do this. It's like, you will be here, you will get to work here, and you will get to do this, and it's just so, it makes you so excited. So yeah, honestly, if you guys have a pre-screen coming up, don't be nervous. It's nothing to be nervous about. Obviously it is a big deal, but at the same time it's so fun, and like, you have the best day, you meet the best people, the presentations are really fun. All I will say is make sure you have lunch before you go, because I cannot stress how hungry I was that day. But other than that, it was so fun, and yeah, I hope that one day I get to go back to the offices because they were so cool, the atmosphere was amazing. So yeah, obviously if you got a pre-screen, good luck, you're going to smash it. It's really not that difficult. Just go in, be yourself, be smiley, be happy. Not difficult to do because everything in there just makes you so happy. I'm just so excited anyway. Make sure you eat, buddy up with some people, and just have the best day. Yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it useful. Let me know down below how your pre-screen interview went, or if you've got one coming up, and I can't wait to hear all about it. Make sure to subscribe if you're not already. I'm going to be posting a ton of Disney content over the next few months, and I can't wait. And yeah, as I say, make sure to subscribe. That's already happened, but please subscribe if you would like to, and I'll see you again very soon with another video. Bye!